chapel? Yes, they're encouraged to go to chapel. Because in chapel, there's preaching and there is also a message of hope and salvation and so on. So they are also encouraged to. Are all students encouraged, whether they are professing Christians or not? They're encouraged. Do all of them come? Not exactly. So having said that, it's important to set the context. Yes, are there some pamphlets that you get as you enter chapel? Yes. What are the pamphlets about? Do you have any prayer item? If you do, please write them down. It's not that this is your attendance. No, and you should come there. I mean, I invite any of you to come to Daystar on any Thursday or any Tuesday. You will come and worship with us, and you will find that it's just a free place for people to find their place with their maker. So that cheat that you get as you enter is simply they are giving you an opportunity to write anything that you want to be prayed about for the rest of the community to pray for you, and that is okay. Now, are students marks, or rather, how does Daystar grade students? There is a grading system backed by a curriculum in Daystar, and that is, there is the continuous assessment which a student goes through, 40 marks. And how do you get the 40 marks? You do a sit-in cut, a takeaway cut. In law, you do a moot court, and you do a class presentation. Then beyond that, you do a written exam. Then you get either your 40 in the cut and your 60 and you get 100%, which is not normal, but you get assessed on that basis and that basis only. So where the MP got his idea from, or that students are deducted marks, how do you deduct a student marks for something that has nothing to do with that class and that course unit? So that argument falls flat on its face for want of evidence to support that kind of argument. Are there ideas that are taught in the university that could be controversial? Absolutely. Every university has a curriculum to teach. In theology, for example, can you talk about salvation and sin in the same vein? Yes, you will. So, is LGBTQ a sin, or is it something morally wrong? Yes, it is. So do you avoid to talk about it? You talk about it. Do you encourage it? No. You actually discourage it in your teaching and so on. So what the MP is saying is like, you cannot talk about anything else if you are talking about religion or if you're talking about the truth. No. People have to be taught. They have to know. If you have lesbians, what are they about? Are they right? Morally? Legally? Constitution? What are the issues? You have to discuss them. So, to that context, is it wrong for anybody to discuss these issues? I don't think so. So the point is, don't run away from the truth. Don't run away from reality. For example, I think he's addressing a different problem about these people, they are distributing books. The truth of the matter is this: sin has been around for as long as humanity has been around. And those who are in that industry also propagate it. They will go around, they'll tell you how superstar they are, or they'll also tell you their side of things, and that's okay. What we want to deal with here is, what is the truth? So you call it out for what it is. So on that account, I believe that we are not having an issue about whether we can talk about anything, including on this table. We can talk about things we agree on, things we don't agree on. We can talk about truth. We can talk about things that are not the case. So, in a nutshell, what Daystar has done is to say, look, we have responded to the ministry, and the ministry will speak for the university in Parliament, because that's the way. Is there anything in any truth in what the MP has said? Absolutely none. And for that matter, what we also want to encourage is that Daystar is going to remain true to its values, to its vision, its principles. Now, while doing that, it will set itself apart from other universities, and therefore, students that will be attracted to it will come.
Right, thank you.
And those that don't believe in Daystar ethos don't have to come. They also have other choices. So really, we must encourage diversity, and we must encourage institutions to stand up for something, as Daystar does.
Right, maybe just taking it broadly, we wanted just to hear you. We begin with you, Barak. I don't know what will be reaction. You've had the MP speaking. Broadly speaking, we have so many choices of other universities that everyone will want to elect to really go and maybe subscribe also to their ethos and their way of doing things at the end of the day. I want just to get reactions, because I know all of you are scholars, and maybe you have these challenges, how you've handled them before, or it's never been there before, or what is happening to that particular space with these matters that sometimes they're in the public domain, and we need to address them head on.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, and Dr. Law for the rendition that we have had. I have known that there are universities whose ethos are faith-based. And when we talk about ethos, we are talking about what you are known for. Yeah? Once again, Professor, this takes us back to Aristotle, who was talking about ethos, pathos, yeah? and logos. What are you known for? And I have known a university like Leicester to have a Christian faith foundation. That's their ethos. I've known St. Paul's University in Limuru to also have that kind of foundation. The Methodist University, the Catholic University, and to a very significant extent, Strathmore University as well. They have got that kind of ethos, that there are certain values, certain principles within which they operate. You have given us the notion of modus operandi. We could add on another one of modus vivendi, the way people live, and it's agreed that that's how we live and operate within this environment. I believe that we also have what is called the Islamic University of Kenya, at
Umma University.
Umma University. And they also have their own ethos. There are certain things that are beyond certain limits, would lead even a teacher into trouble. And therefore, that within that kind of background, I find it would be normal for Islamic students in an Islamic university to go to the mosque. I would not expect them to compel everyone within that fraternity to go to the mosque, because faith is a very personal issue. And I would expect that they start the way Dr. Olo has explained, has got its ethos, and that they operate within those ethos without victimizing anybody who does not believe in the Christian faith to go and worship in a Christian shrine, in a Christian altar. Said and done, the university is a place not just of teaching, it's a place where people research and people go out to look for knowledge, to process it, to package it, to store it, and to disseminate. In the process, we must look at ourselves within the academy as a crucible. It's a crucible, a melting pot of thoughts, of knowledge, of ideas, and ideas are floated, ideas are discussed. Some pass the test on the weighing scale of ideas, others crumble and fall. And if we get into the university space and start saying that certain ideas are not going to be discussed in this environment, then I think we start getting into trouble. we say the more, the merrier. Like Chairman Mao used to say, the more, the merrier. So let ideas be floated, let ideas be discussed, including those that we don't believe in philosophy. In philosophy, and I studied philosophy of religion at the University of Nairobi, we begin by even questioning the very existence of God before we can confirm it. René Descartes is famous for saying that I think, therefore I am. But conversely, he also said, I doubt, therefore I think, therefore I am. And the university is an environment in which we are allowed to also doubt and to think and to be.
All right, let's hear from Dr. Kalua.
I think it is in order for Parliament to check on issues of religious inclinations and well-being versus university policies. It is in order also to check on students' well-being and also other implications. So it's quite in order for the Parliament to check on all these things. The only question is, on what basis, on what information are they basing their processes on? Are they right or wrong? And I say this because Parliament agreed thereafter, after the presentation of the report, that there shall be a report arising from this so that the truth, the facts will be very clear. And I think the facts will bring out very important issues as I imagine they are. Daystar University is one of those institutions that I respect and hold in very high esteem because of its values. The story of the lady, Madam Smith and Don, who started the institutions. In fact, they went away. I believe they now live. The wife died. Must have passed on last year in October.
Smith lives here.
He lives here. The founders of the institutions still live in that organization. The ethos for which they started, the support from the US and different institutions. Remember Talitwala, who used to walk across those days, and the institutions has continued to be held by very respectable individuals, including the current VC. I hold him in very high esteem. He was ejected from one of the universities in Moi University because he was not coming from that community. I was surprised the other day. I met someone and said, oh my, we regret, that guy is so good. We really need him back. Because of what he stands. He speaks what he is, he does what he is, full of values, and therefore the institution as it is. I am part of the board of trustees of a Christian university, International Leadership University. We are headed by Justice Musinga, who is our chair of the board, and a very pragmatic council that runs the organization. Our values are very clear. The Constitution of Kenya allows the freedom of religion and what we do. And we stand by, just like the Daystar University, we stand by the values that created the institution. And my brother can't have said any better with all the other institutions and what they believe in, including the universities that are Muslim-led. And we must respect that. The ethos is what creates the leaders that they bring out. I believe in Daystar, just as they do, they are talking about leadership. They want to bring leadership. You cannot become a leader of the university based on the ethos if you don't attend church, if you don't attend the chapel. But it is not academic guided that you must be able to pass this exam as the facts that were given out by Mheshimiwa. So Mheshimiwa is right in what he's doing. What may be questionable is the source of the information, and we know him. He picks things very passionately, and I'm sure the report that is going to come out of this process is going to to bring out a good image of what is expected. So we must respect institutions. Every institution, just like a family, there are things that cannot happen in my house. It's simple as that. Everybody knows, because we have ethos. There is what the Greens stand for. There is what we believe in. Church is a must. Somehow, out not by force, but by the upbringing, that is where you are grounded. If any member of our church, my father was a preacher man, he was a bishop, he taught us what it is. My success today, I attribute it to my basics that was given, and therefore it must continue running in the family. The same way the Muslims will train their people the 10 things that you must do, acts of kindness, and I love them, including just petting a cat and making sure that you have done an act of kindness on a day, praying so many times. Those are the ethos that keep us going as human beings, and that they must be upheld. And I'm therefore looking forward to that report, because this kind of discussion has put the organization in Daystar in a very bad picture that should not necessarily have been. And it also threatens the well-being of institutions like the International Leadership University and what we stand for, because we have Muslims in our university, and they are allowed to do their thing. Nobody disturbs them. Similarly, we have churches, we have a time that you have got to go to the chapel. It's welcome based on the ethos of the institution. Sitam Church has got a university that stands on the same. All this must be upheld. Let the report come out. Let every institution stand just like a family on what they believe in. And that is what is going to build a greater nation. We must not just keep questioning everything based, lessons to learn, based on wrong information. We must be able to check out, because, I mean, Mohammed is a respected member of parliament. He's very passionate with his Jicho Pevu, and this could be also an extension of what he's doing. But is the information correct? Let the report come out and we'll be able to lead this. But let's respect the institutions, just like families, for what they stand for.
Right. Professor Kindiki, I know you have been, or you're still at Moi University. You can bring us up to speed, and I know there was that particular debate then where it was very contentious with Professor Ayiro being at the helm. Now is this on this other side? I don't know, what will be your reflection in, broadly speaking, from what is happening and his response as well?
Thank you, Dibar. I'm reluctant to comment on this issue, but I'll just make a few remarks. Personally, if I comment, I'll be a bit personal, because the Vice Chancellor of Daystar University is my very close friend, a colleague. We have worked together. He's like my brother, because he's somebody we have sat on the same table for a long time at the department, at the school, at the university level. As far as I'm concerned, I know him to an extent of, I know his values, beliefs, and what he stands for. Unless things have changed, Professor Ayiro has been an astute leader, and a person I know about his faith. Then secondly, about Daystar University, is a renowned university in this country. It's one of the first Christian university to start in Kenya, among others actually. Maybe very few, but this is one of the earliest universities that started here. And over the years, Daystar University has stood to be known of what it is even today. It's a Christian-based university. Even before getting the charter, university charter, and all the processes of becoming a full university and chartered university and so forth, Daystar has been very consistent in their faith and what they stand for. So now when I tie it with Professor Ayiro from Moi University, I don't want to talk about what my colleagues says that he was ejected from the university, because that is beside the point. The point here is that thirdly, there is this freedom of worship. So as far as I know, the Vice Chancellor and the university and the way the university what the university stands for, and then the Constitution of Kenya, the freedom of worship. This is not something new to Daystar University and even the leadership there. So I think maybe the source of information is the one that I doubt a bit, because I don't know who gave information to Parliament to be picked by a member of Parliament and to become a public conversation. However, it's a good conversation because it will maybe help us to understand how these universities are operating, the faith-based universities, and maybe help us even to correct where mistakes have happened. But as far as I know, I think if people act normally and the way we believe, and for example, those who are Christians, those who are Muslims, or whatever religion one professes, and particularly on my side, I'm a Christian, and what I know about Daystar, I think Daystar has given us a good image of what a Christian university should be. But issues about, because I've seen the clip there, about students given homework, I think it's assignment, homework, the same, about lesbian, about to research on lesbian, LGBTQ, and others. I think I really don't understand, because if a student is enrolled into a program, and one of the requirements in that program is to research on lesbianism, so I don't see any problem there, because the fact that as a scholar I'm reading about lesbian doesn't mean you are lesbian. If you are reading about gay, doesn't mean you are gay. If you are reading about Islam and I'm a Christian, doesn't mean I'll change my faith. It's just knowledge, and it's very good also to learn. The other day I was reading a book about Islamic, and then somebody asked me, "Why are you reading and you are Christian?" I say, I just want also to understand what other people believe in. You can read a book about Hinduism, you can read about Islamic, reading what. That it just, universities don't, as far as I know, they don't teach students to be converted to religion because they teach religion. Our brother here, Professor Dr. Muluka, says he was in the University of Nairobi and he learned his philosophy. But I don't know whether the lecturer stood and told them, you people want you to change to become Christians.
No.
But you read it as philosophy, as knowledge and understanding. I leave it up to that point. So the source of information of how Daystar is maybe treating their students to that extent of forcing them to be converted to become Christians or to a different faith is that I'm questioning, and maybe I don't know the motive of that. But I think because this is in public domain and is debated in Parliament, let us wait for the report, because it will be into the minister and the Parliament, and then we look at it, and it will be good for us to learn what other institutions believe. But as far as I know, I think those, to me, I just think these are just mere politics and mere things, blackmail. I don't know why I can call it, but I think there's a lot of truth in that information. As far as I know, Daystar is concerned and what Daystar University stands for. And the leadership of Daystar, I know it very well.
Thank you.
To some extent, I don't work there, but I know from outside. But I think there are some politics and other games that I do not know, but let us wait for the report. There is absolutely nothing wrong with a university teaching anything, because universities are there to stand and create knowledge. And now we're putting barriers and limitations of the extent you have to go, then we are limiting the knowledge and the freedom of knowledge. And this one should be consumed by the members of the public, and without any limitation, as long as one is not, converted to a process of converting somebody to a faith that he or she doesn't want or doesn't approve. Otherwise, we leave it at there, the bar, and let the report be done, be given to the Parliament, because the Speaker has already ordered, given them 2 weeks to the Committee on Education in Parliament, and then you will see the report, and then we look at where the mistakes are there, and then they will be corrected. But I can defend that situation very well with confidence, without fear of any contradiction.
Thank you.
That Daystar is a Christian university and is doing the right thing. But if there are mistakes, they'll be corrected.
All right, let's leave it at that.
For the record, we have the Daystar
University Students of Law Association called DUSOLA. The chairman, the president of that association, as I speak today, is a Muslim student. So that to say they are discriminated is false. As I speak to you, he was elected by fellow students last year, and he's serving his term. He's a Muslim. Don't we know he's a Muslim? We know. So for anybody we can look anybody in the eye and tell them that what they are saying about discrimination is not true.
All right, let's leave it at that. We wait for the report so that we find out what the Education Committee will have interrogated that particular report, and of course they'll appear before the committee as well.
No, what has happened is that the ministry sent a team.
So to your institution?
The team came, we have briefed them, they are going to write a report, they'll give it to the minister.
Okay.
So now for purposes of this conversation, it's the ministry that will speak on this issue. Because their findings have to be submitted to Parliament, and that's how then Parliament will be.
All right.
Yeah.
And we wait for the ministry to do that. Right. I just want us to look at this editorial cartoon as we're winding up. I think we have a few minutes right now just to give an update of what is happening in Haiti right now, where we understand that we have also the U.S. which is calling for an inclusive, so to speak, an inclusion that Prime Minister Henry should consider an inclusion. Maybe they were talking about a government, how did you call this particular, government of coalition, because we have a state of emergency right now in Haiti, and this is bound to go on for the next 1 month, so just to bring a modicum of semblance there. And this is what Stano has drawn. Go and do it from inside. Welcome to Haiti. It's an inferno, as you can see it. And Kenya police, utumishi kwa wote with the jerrycan. This is what they're taking to Haiti. They're saying it's like now trying to put down the fire with a water pistol. The situation is dire. Barak Muluga, could we begin by you deciphering this editorial cartoon today?
No, it speaks to the truth that we seem to be having a very strong death wish for some of our youth whom we are trying to send into that fire, when the person who claims to be the head of state and government in that environment is not even able to get back to the country himself, then you can imagine what it means to send there the Kenya police. We send the Kenya police into civilian environments to maintain law and order. But this is a state that has collapsed. It is a state that no longer respects the faintest modicum of law and order. It's a state in which if you arrive at the airport in Port-au-Prince, you expect the welcome to be the barrel of the gun. Yeah? We know, of course, the historical background. We know that there's no government. And we know that while we say we have now signed an agreement with them, it's difficult to say what government you have signed an agreement with. It's an environment of total anarchy. So Stano is right, saying welcome to anarchy.
Welcome to anarchy. Right, we had, of course, the Prime Minister here, and upon now his departure, he's not been able to...
Not even a Prime Minister.
Not even a Prime Minister.
No, he isn't.
He's not a legitimate Prime Minister.
He isn't a Prime Minister. Let us get the context.
So what
right.
are these instruments we signed here?
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
Yes.
You know, we should read the book.
Okay. Yes.
I think
Briefly,
you
because also we've got a few minutes so that
yeah.
we don't belabor the point so much.
No, Haiti has a history. I mean, this is if you can say that ethnicity is an issue in Kenya, then gangsterism is an issue in Haiti, because right from the 60s and generally around their politics, gangsters have been part and parcel of the political formations, right from the days of Duvalier. And these gangsters have been having a say on government. So the moment you oust them, they go and organize and they give you a hard time. Now they have told this man called Ariel that you will not come back here.
They want him to resign.
Yeah, they want him to resign. And whoever they want will have to cut a deal with them in order for that person to go to office. So these guys are known for assassinating their presidents in the past. They have been known for dismantling whichever government is in power. So now they have an opportunity and they have taken over that country. As to whether you can send our Kenya police, Utumishi kwa wote, in that place, the water we mean in Utumishi is not in Haiti. It's in Kenya. Here. We can't be the kind of things to people like in Haiti. Those guys are so good in their ways that we do not need to go and disrupt that order. We have enough business here to do. Let our policemen do it here, and let us not wish them that chaos. I mean, I know what Stano is saying. That kind of fire, it's both the flames can be seen and the smoke can cause you not to have any clarity about your side. That is Haiti.
All right.
You don't want Kenyans there.
On a serious note, we have the courts which has declared this unconstitutional until maybe there is a bilateral agreement. And we've seen...
Which this guy came to do?
Which we had the Prime Minister with the government. So that's what I'm asking. Where is the veracity of what was signed if there is no government? As Barack will put it, this is a abracadabra completely. And there was that ceremonial signing of his agreement. We saw it. Will that make any discernible difference with the declaration from the courts if there's no legitimate government?
Abracadabra it is, as my brother has said. But is it necessary abracadabra? Sometimes it is, because you may have to show mercy to those who are in trouble, but just as much as that. Let me just paint the picture of what has just happened in the last few days in Haiti. About 4 days ago, 12 people killed, about 4,000 inmates released by gangsters into the public. Now, if you imagine that the gangsters are serious and they are in the streets, now imagine those who had been locked up, how much more serious they would be, and they are now out. Mm-hmm. Secondly, just yesterday or the day before yesterday, police stations have been attacked to levels and shootings happened in those areas. This is the reality, which is far much different from what it was even when there's the suggestions of having our police officers, 1,000 officers going there. Just yesterday afternoon, I bumped into one of the officers who is supposed to travel to Haiti. And he confided in me. He said that his family has just said, "We are sorry, you are not going to go, unless you just leave us killed and then you go." And he has actually chosen to go and say to the government, "I'm sorry, if it is losing my job, I'm not going for the sake of my family." This is the recent reality. Now, the talk in the streets is always, "Oh, President Ruto has received 150 billion, and therefore it is a commitment that cannot change." I don't think even if there was money to be received, and this sometimes cheap talk in the streets, the presidency and the government, I am sure no one would want to hand over their family, their children, their countrymen to the what you referred the other day as the beef grinder for assumption that they will be fine. I am sure that even if a decision had been made based on the reality that is this way, that the gentleman who signed that document in the name of a prime minister, whom I hold in high esteem and respect, right now he's in Puerto Rico, he can't get into his country. That is the reality today. I am sure that even as we talk about this, the same President Ruto is able to rethink based on the current scenario and save the people. Because, you know, everyone is so concerned in the country. These are our children. These are our colleagues. We can see where they are going, that they are holding water pistols to go and cool down the fire that is out there. But the reality is also, and the importance of the theatrics, if there was, is important because we really need to cry with the people of Haiti. It's one of the poorest countries. But could there be an arrangement can be worked? Yes. Can you assure Kenyans what you signed the other day means that these guys are just going to be there, they are going to be near the airport, or they are going to be at the fence, they are going to be giving food to those who do not have food, and we are not giving them the guns to go and deal with that. So there are many dynamics that may be considered.
Thank you. Right, let's hear from Professor Kindiki.
Thank you, Dubat. Issue about Haiti and the Kenya police going there. If you look at the cartoon there, it's written Utumishi kwa wote, welcome to Haiti. So sometimes the strategy that the police are going to use is not defined. I think that's what people are worried about. And you look at the gangsters have taken control of the country and the country is burning. If you look at our policemen now are told, welcome to Haiti. Haiti is burning with gangsters. But I think even these gangsters are also human beings, and the country, they are surviving. So if the police are going to use a strategy of trying to calm down the situation, well, not good. and
you must be joking.
I'm not joking.
I'm not joking.
Let him finish because of time.
Why
Let him finish
joking?
so that you don't interrupt him.
I did not say you are joking yourself.
Okay, carry on.
When you talk about Aristotle, you are not joking.
Because I was
when I say
not joking, carry on.
Because
Carry on.
nobody,
Carry
nobody,
on.
you are not joking. I'm not joking.
Carry on.
I'm making a serious statement.
Carry on.
Because these are our sons and
No, we are
children.
eating into his time.
Our sons and children taken to Haiti. And it's something that has already been decided. The courts have also pronounced they should not go. And then there is that kind of fight back and forth, whether they should go or they should not go. Then when I comment, you say, I'm joking, I'm serious.
Carry
this
on.
is a national serious matter.
Carry on, Professor.
What?
Cogitate, Professor.
Okay, yeah. So I'm talking of the gangsters who have taken control of Haiti. And if you look back, those I can see on this table, we already have those who look what was happening in Somalia. Somalia was burning. Look at what was happening in Southern Sudan, and look at what has been happening in DRC. And actually, Kenya has been pivotal since the time of, I remember the late president, even Kenyatta, even Moi. Kenya has been called upon even to deal with very serious international matters. That's what I'm trying to say. Why have they maybe chosen Kenya, or Kenya has been, has volunteered itself to go and settle the issues of Haiti? So it's not a joke. It's a serious thing. So with me, I'll leave it at that let the decisions and the proper channels be followed of taking the police there if it needs be, and if they are going to solve the problem. And if, for example, by the way, seriously speaking, if they go and sort out the issue of gangsters in Haiti, then that's a plus on the international platform.
Right, maybe there is a silver.
So we cannot just doubt anything that is done, and that's the problem with us as Kenyans. Anything that is done is with the doubt that you are not serious, you are not focus, I don't know what.
You're
but
joking.
Actually, I'm not joking. This is a serious issue.
No, you're joking. Thank you. Let's get your closing remarks. One line.
Well,
one line.
I
Closing
stop
remarks.
there, but the bar as we stop, let's pray for our country. We pray for our country and also take this matter seriously, because if, and I'm saying on a serious note, if Kenya has volunteered to sort out the regional conflicts within the East African area, and now they can go abroad and sort out the issue. Well and good. If it finds themselves well and they sort it out, that is perfect.
Thank you.
At the international platform.
Thank you for those remarks. Closing remarks.
Just to say that we have a great country, we have great people, we have great potential. We just need to manage leadership and to manage ourselves against ourselves.
Thank you. Isaac Lua, Green.
A country can only be as great as its leaders' commitment to keeping to their word and what is expected of them by its community. The greatest thing that we can do to a country that is in trouble, like we are, just like most of the countries in the world, is to pray.
Thank you.
Put God ahead.
Thank you.
And trust that He's able to change the scenario as it is today.
Barak.
May wise counsel prevail on Haiti. Otherwise, I salute the women again. And my heroines, of course, for now are Nancy Gadungu and Margaret Nyakango.
Thank you.
Who are doing great work. It speaks for itself.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Salute my mother as well, my wife, my daughter, and all the women in my life, my sisters as well. Thank you very much. I think it is international.